Hello everyone. Today is the first lesson. We are going to learn how to write a summary. So as we go through the step of how to write summary, we will use the 7 steps. Step number one. Step number one is reading the entire document. Of course, when you write a summary, reading the entire document would be the first thing to do. But the important thing is that while you're reading, you need to make a note, like putting some important information or characters or something important. And ask these 3 questions. Question number 1, how does the story begin? 2, how does the mirror support and move the idea along? Question number 3, how does the ending fit? So as we go through the 7 steps, we will actually practice with a document. So now our native teacher will read whole documents for you.
The Hawaiian muumuu as a writing aid. Your muse needs comfort and less distraction too. One of the joys of living in Hawaii is wearing a muumuu. When I go out on an errand, if I'm wearing shorts and a tee, I change into a muumuu when I'm home and ready to write again. Well, I even go shopping in a muumuu if the idea strikes me. I'm a Kamehameha to these islands, a transplant, and have yet to fully adopt some of the more relaxed local customs. I tried sitting at my computer wearing street clothes like shorts, jeans, or even a dress. Doing so reminded me of the discomfort I felt when wearing sleek suits to an office where one's grooming and appearance was so important. Most waistbands are too binding when sitting to write, actually making me feel like I'm strangling my creativity. Any discomfort is a distraction. A friend who also writes can turn out an article in a room full of noisy people. Maybe that's because she's a journalist and catches news as it's happening. Writing is a personal thing for me, something I do very much alone, because I can become quite animated. When I write, I feel everything I create and often act out the gestalt of the characters. That is, I speak the parts or play act to make sure the words flow like ordinary conversation. I read the whole story out loud and move around a lot and gesture. The more we writers feel what we write, the more likely we are to convey the emotion and meaning of the story to the reader. So feeling constricted is out of the question. My writing wardrobe is to dress my muse comfortably. In these islands, colorful, loose-fitting muumuus are perfect. I can even answer the door wearing a muumuu instead of a bathrobe.
Did you get the idea? Right, so let's go through these 3 questions again. Question number 1, how does the story begin? The joy of wearing a muumuu is mentioned in the first paragraph. Question number 2, how does the mirror support and move the idea along? How other clothing is binding opposite the comfort of the muumuu and moves the idea along. Question number 3, how does the ending fit? The ending is that not only are muumuus comfortable for this writer, but more appropriate in these islands for answering the door. Let's go step number 2. Step number 2 is you actually go back through and highlight all points which is crucial to the theme or the subject of the writing. As we go through this step, pay attention to not write trivial information. You're going to just choose essential information. So this is a kind of example of highlighting all points. Okay, number 1, wearing a muumuu. Second point, wearing street clothes. Third, waistbands are too binding. The next, discomfort is a distraction. Next, When I write, I feel everything I create and often act out the gesture of the characters. That is, I speak the parts a play act to make sure the words flow like ordinary conversation. I read the whole story out loud and move along a lot and gesture. The last point, feeling constructed is out of the question. My writing wardrobe is to dress my muse comfortably. Actually, there was like another last point. Loose-fitting muumuus are perfect. Okay, let's go number 3, step 3. So the step 3 is write a 1 or 2 sentence statement that explains the story is about. So this is the example answer. Clothing can add a measure of discomfort, distracting the writer from full creativity. Your muse needs comfort and less distractions too. Right, let's go step 4. Step 4 is list the main points you've highlighted. So these are the main points we have highlighted. Number 1, the Hawaiian muumuu as a writing aid. The second one, wearing a muumuu. Third, wearing street clothes. Fourth, waistbands are too binding. Fifth, discomfort is a distraction. Sixth, when I write, I move around a lot and gesture. Seventh, feeling constructed is out of the question. Eighth, my writing wardrobe is to dress my muse comfortably. The last one, loose-fitting muumuu are perfect. Right, so let's go step 5. Step 5 is write what you believe the story or article is about. Write in your own voice or terminology. So as you go through this step, try to make your own voice, not what the writer's voice, and use your own terminology. So make the story as your own. So this is example answer. Mary Dill writes about how the Hawaiian muumuu is a writing aid. Wearing a muumuu is more comfortable than wearing binding street clothes when sitting to write. Tight clothing is a distraction and stifles her muse, her creativity. She moves around a lot and gestures, acting out her character's parts in order to make the writing realistic. So feeling constructed is out of the question. We're almost there. So step 6. Step 6 is writing conclusion. So when you go through this stage, please do not mix your own idea or thoughts, because that's not your story. You're just doing summarizing, right? All right, so this is the example answer. The Hawaiian muumuu is loose-fitting and suits her muse just fine and does not distract attention from the flow of creativity. Wow, we've done almost 7 steps. Step 7, editing. Editing is the most vital in how to write a summary. What good is writing a summary if it's fraught with errors of your own? So when you write the summary, the last stage would be rereading, reproving, and editing. So when you edit, the first thing that you need to remember is that putting proper citation. So you need to write the address or sources where you got that idea. And then the next one is that grammar checkup. So try to make all the right grammar of your own writing. Then the last thing that we need to consider about editing is length. So try to don't write too long or too short. If you write too long, that's not summary anymore. And if you write too short, you probably cannot put all the main essential information. So let's go through the 7 step again. I will just put kind of little short phrases or words. Step 1, reading. Step 2, highlight all points. Step 3, 1 or 2 sentence summary. Step 4, list the main points. Step 5, writing summary. Step 6, writing conclusion. And step 7 is editing. I hope that you learn how to write a summary through this presentation. So let's go through 7 steps whenever you need to write a summary, and I hope that you can do well in your schooling. Thank you. I will see you next time.